We've had a very interesting first half of the year, to say the least. From Nvidia CEO saying that kids shouldn't learn to code, to the introduction of Devon as the first AI software engineer. What is the future of software engineering, and should you even learn to code in this day and age? So what is the current state of AI? At the moment, AI is clearly not good enough to replace software engineers. Even as an intern, ChatGPT couldn't do most of the stuff I was doing, simply because it struggles getting the overall picture, considering that it has a limited context size and it doesn't have full access to the codebase, which has millions and millions of lines. Even tools like GitHub Copilot struggle with non-trivial tasks, to the point where they might be hallucinating and creating functions that do not exist anywhere in the docs. And we're not even talking about senior engineers who spend a bunch of time in meetings trying to get requirements, clarifying them, and planning the project. We often forget that coding is only a small portion of the job. That unfortunately decreases as you gain experience. Communication is at the core of engineering, because we don't just code for the sake of coding, but it's to solve real problems for real users. Honestly, communicating with LLMs can be a bit of a pain in the ass. And even more so recently, as it seems they just got worse and worse over time for some reason. And I'm not the only one noticing this change. Or it might be that GPT-4 completely blew off all of my expectations at the start, so I'm just now less tolerant of mistakes. Or we might have reached a certain plateau, because the jump from GPT-3 to 4 was absolutely massive. But now I feel like pretty much all of the popular large language models have a very similar level of performance. Obviously, we're at the start of the AI revolution, and there is a lot more to come. To the point where AI agents might actually replace software engineers, but more so at the entry level. I mean, if your job is to change the color of a button or to implement a simple API, AI is going to take your job without a shadow of a doubt. But if you genuinely solve complex problems, which cannot be solved by a quick search on Google or on Stack Overflow, well, AI is going to struggle a lot more at solving these complex tasks. The truth is, over time, as the technology improves, AI is going to start solving bigger and harder problems, which might kill software engineering at the end. But no one knows when that is going to happen. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, it's anyone's guess. But there's no point in worrying about it. You need to take action. So what can you do to avoid being replaced? Consider this. AI is going to democratize software development. Anyone, anywhere in the world, with an internet connection and an access to an AI model is going to be able to develop much faster than before. When we reach that point, an application that required 10 full-time software engineers to build might only require 1. And a kid with a great idea will have a fantastic opportunity to build it, or at least get 90% there. That's how I'm thinking about it. AI will most likely be very fast at getting you to a prototype of your application, but all of the fine-tuning and all of the little details are going to take a longer time to figure out. This will lead to an explosion of one-person businesses, where you have a founder who can code and who will have the opportunity to develop complex software systems with the help of AI. It's probably the greatest opportunity of our lifetime. And the CEO of OpenAI agrees. Sam Altman thinks that AI will be able to create the first one-person billion-dollar business. Okay, I know 1 billion is an astronomical amount of money, but imagine building a software that makes you a few $1,000s every single month, completely passively. That would be enough money to live a comfortable life in 95% of the countries in the world. Being a solo developer and building startups with the help of AI is probably the greatest opportunity for financial independence outside of the United States, because of course, FANG still exists and still pays crazy amounts of money for their engineers. Not only that, but if you go the solo dev route, you get access to 2 things which are arguably more important than money, and that's location and time freedom. Location freedom because you only need a laptop and an internet connection. You can live anywhere you want. Time freedom because you're working for yourself. You dictate your own schedule. You can work as little or as much as you want. So become a solo developer. But to do that, there are 2 fundamental beliefs that you need to smash in the ground. First, everyone is seeing AI as a threat. Is it going to take my job? Is it going to kill software development? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. It doesn't matter. There's absolutely no point in worrying about it. You should see AI as a tool, as an opportunity to leverage your time and to give back more value to the world. I know it's hard to do, because most of us are employees and AI is a fundamental threat to the employee paradigm, because everyone is replaceable. But if you shift your perspective and you put your entrepreneurship glasses on, you'll see how much of an opportunity it is and the potential it has to completely change your life. Speaking about being an employee and the 9-to-5 life, that that is the second belief you need to change. The truth is, historically, the 9 to 5 path has always been safer than the business and entrepreneurship path. But I think the tide is changing, especially in the last few years with the thousands and thousands of employees that have been laid off on a global scale. And with the entry-level market being as bad as it is, you could argue that being an employee is the riskiest option. Of course, becoming a solo founder or a solo developer comes with its own set of risks that you have to accept. You need to find the problem that a certain group of people has, you need to build a solution, you need to find product market fit, then you need to start marketing your product, you get users, you try to scale up, you have to deal with customer complaints, and so on. It's a completely different set of challenges compared to being a developer. But I feel that there is very low downside and an almost infinite amount of upside. First, there's no real threat of AI replacing you, because you're using AI as a tool to help you build so much faster. It is not the one using you. Then, of course, you have to build a profitable business that puts food on the table. And that's easier said than done. Worst case scenario, let's say you have absolutely no customer and the business dies. Well, now you've got a fantastic project for your portfolio, and you've also got all of the experience from having built a startup from the ground up. This experience will be invaluable to companies, especially to startups who want to have developers who can use AI to build products really fast. So worst case, you lose a bit of time and money building a project, and then you get a job. Maybe even a better paying one considering the experience you've gained building a startup. The bi-weekly paycheck will give you the financial stability and peace of mind to continue building applications in your free time until something sticks and allows you to quit your job. That is something that I've been thinking about for a while, and becoming a solo developer might genuinely be the future of software engineering. So to answer the original question, should you even learn to code? I think you should, but not just for the sake of landing a job, but to actually build your own software one day. So spend time learning, but spend more time building. I have given you my thoughts on the future, now I want to hear yours in the comments below. Where do you think that software engineering is headed to? Thank you very much for watching, I'll see you in the next one.